Well, today was a very interesting day in terms of the FC community in general, and also just the trailer that dropped today was very much so a response from EA to us, basically. And what does that mean? I guess we'll talk about it. There's been a little bit of back and forth, some drama about the new trailer. We'll kind of cover everything that we found out today, because there is a lot of stuff, and we've got some FC25 stuff too to talk about. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You could use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. We've got some SBC leaks plus some team leaks as well for this next FUTTIES team. FUTTIES team 2. Also the best of team. I guess I don't know for sure it's coming out next Friday. I guess it could be this Friday. I was trying to find it earlier and I couldn't find it anywhere when the new best of is coming out. Usually it's 2 weeks apart, but they might have changed this here. I'm not sure what's going on here. I couldn't find it. Some said yesterday that it's coming out this Friday. If you guys know, let me know, but I actually don't really know for sure, I guess. And of course, thank you all for just watching today. I very much appreciate you. And we'll start with like this objective that relates to this new FC26 pre-order that we'll just kind of start with this and then go into the news about FC26. That's kind of where we'll start today. But first of all, if you guys are basketball fans, by the way, you see my shirt here. I'm a Timberwolves fan, right? You guys know this by now, probably if you've been watching for a while, but we got, let's see here. We got Ricky Rubio, Johnny Flynn, Steph Curry with the 8th pick in the 2009 NBA draft. So I saw this shirt and I said, you know what? I got to get that shirt. So anyway, let's start with, I guess, this Evo first here. So most of you guys probably know this by now, but this new Evo that is coming out, that if you pre-order FC26, you get this Evo. It's a 99 shooting Evo. So all these objectives relate to a 99 shooting card. Now, luckily, you might have one of these in your club already without needing to pre-order the next year's game. If you got the Eric Dyer from last season right here at my left striker spot, that Eric Dyer card, he has 99 shooting. I just used him for those games and we ended up getting it. So you could just do that, but you have to use a 99 shooting card in these evolutions. So quick step plus here, max of 4 playstyle pluses, by the way, unfortunately, but you can give him 96 shooting and dribbling, right? Or no, sorry, 96 pace and dribbling, my bad. He already would theoretically have 99 shooting. So right here I have Eric Dyer and this Fermin card, but ideally EA want you to pre-order next year's game and then get whatever card you want to into here to give them 99 shooting and make them kind of a crazy card, right? So that's one of the pre-order bonuses for next year's game, is kind of relating to that objective. In case you guys are wondering kind of what the whole purpose of that is. Now, let's get into all the news we heard about today. There was a ton of it. We might be here for a while. We're going to break down absolutely everything just to make sure you guys didn't miss anything. So some of the stuff obviously very obvious. Like this one, for example, this gameplay trailer came out today. It wasn't even really a gameplay trailer. It was a trailer that ended up showing gameplay in it, because we talked yesterday about how EA was making fun of themselves, talking about all these cinematic trailers that they do for the start of the game seemingly every single year, and this year it was not like that. I can't show it to you in case I get copyright struck, but if you haven't checked it out yet, go watch it. The first thing they talked about here is authentic and competitive gameplay. We have talked about this over the course of the last few months here, that it would be super beneficial for EA to make the two kind of online and offline games quite a bit different, just to appease both sides. The offline fans want it slower, the online fans want it faster. It just simply makes sense to want to try and appease both sides here. It can't be that difficult to do that, and it looks like they're actually going to do that. We have competitive gameplay and authentic gameplay, splitting the two up, which I think is very, very important. And also just the theme you're going to see here is that they are quote unquote listening to us, right? You've got fixed tackles, way too many bounce backs. EA says not anymore, and apparently they're trying to fix the bounce backs, right? They reply to a lot of the criticism in this trailer. Where's one more here? They have make gameplay faster, cleaner slide tackles, fewer bounce backs, more consistent outcomes, more controlled interceptions as well. Now they're really leading into a better gameplay for us. You got right here the make gameplay faster. No, make it more realistic. I'm trying to appease both of the offline and online audiences here. You've got more pace, and then even when they're tired, says EA. So we're going to have faster gameplay, more fluid dribbling, more fluid passing, dynamic dribbling right here. Can I play like a little bit of this probably? Let's restart from the beginning here. You can see Musiala's dribbling is a little bit, you know, just more fluid, right? It seems a little more, a few more touches being taken to where more responsiveness is probably happening, right? You got goalkeeper overhaul, controlled deflections. So now they're going to be a little bit more unrealistic, actually. So it sounds like what EA wanted to do is make it more actually kind of unrealistic, but also more fair in the gameplay to make more controlled deflections out of bounds, right? No more parries that amount for easy goals. Whereas in the offline game, looks like they're going to try and keep keep the goalkeepers and deflections kind of the same as they were this year, right? And right here, passing feels sluggish. We've got a preview of like passing being more responsive, right? So here's a little bit of a speed up of passing right here. Elastical variations, drag to chops, right? More skill moves there. But going back here, right? Retuning the passing, apparently having it feel more responsive. And there is a much more in-depth patch notes on actually responsiveness in gameplay. So EA are clearly, you know, to summarize things quickly, EA are really trying to make it known to you that they know gameplay is important. They are trying to make gameplay better. Whether that actually means literally anything, no idea, right? We have no idea, but we know now that EA clearly think them making gameplay will directly affect their profits, because it did earlier this year. They are extrapolating what happened in January this year and turning it up to 2 or 3 more times that, right? They're trying to lean into the gameplay, lean into like, hey, you guys want this, we're gonna do this for you. Right here, you got off-ball shielding, so watch Cole Palmer kind of try an off-ball shield while the ball is getting to him, so that's a new sort of addition this year. You know, we're seeing little gameplay tidbits in the reveal trailer, which is something that we're just not used to seeing. Smarter goalkeeper movement here. That's not you manually doing it. That's just automatic goalkeeper movement. Load-driven power shot as well, apparently. Some were saying it's a new play style. I'm guessing that's just going to be a part of the load-driven and part of the power shot play style. Maybe it's a new one, but I would doubt it. There's Bellingham with the load-driven power shot there. And I think next up you kind of see a load-driven finesse shot here. I think Gonzalo Ramos. Yeah, load-driven finesse shot there, I think. And then also they have manager career mode stuff in the reveal trailer, which is something that you never see them have, right? Update manager career. There's Luis Enrique. They added in a new, first of all, manager live thing where you can actually earn rewards in career mode by completing like certain challenges. What they did add was like a manager carousel where managers can get fired and hired randomly in your save, right? So if Man United underperform, they can fire Ruben Amorim and they can hire someone else, right? So coaches will be fired in your save on CPU controlled teams, which is something that has never happened before. You can see like in the reveal trailer with them talking about career mode stuff, it's very different, right? On ball physicality now. You've got here new icons, which we give a little preview of, obviously Ali Khan there. So Ali Khan's basically confirmed as well here. Archetypes is now a thing apparently. If we go back here, you got archetypes in pro clubs, which is kind of a similar thing to like what NBA 2K has had for a while, I'm going to assume. Be a keeper mode, I guess, is new. And this is in Rush here, so I don't know, like be a keeper in Rush, I guess you can now do, which how does that really work when you've got a keeper who might just be throwing? Like you can't do anything when a keeper's throwing, like if they suck and they want to be a keeper. I don't really know what you do about this, honestly, with Rush. I'm not sure what you do if it's going to be an online thing, but precision header play style, so I guess that takes the place of power header maybe, or I guess maybe that actually adds in there. One frame passing here as well. You kind of wonder what that means. I guess I would assume it's just more responsive passing, right? Next up here, you got simplified skill moves. Not sure what that looks like yet. EA had not really made any sort of announcement on that, apart from just teasing it here. Signature perks as well. EA, once again, not said anything about that yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Probably an offline thing if I had to guess. Next up here, high contrast mode, which you can barely see that, but high contrast mode, I guess if you are maybe somebody who would get a lot of use out of this, you can get some high contrast in there. You've got rebalanced formations as well, it said. Yeah, rebalanced formations, which I guess, what does that even mean? I'm not really sure. I'm still voice cracking. Ultimate Team Tournaments right here. Hey, Ultimate Team Tournaments, guys. It's happening. We have confirmation. A new game mode is coming into Ultimate Team. And this is the thing, honestly, that means more to me than anything else, right? Preface this by saying we have no idea if it's going to be good or not. No fucking idea. But no matter what, the game modes themselves the last about 4 years have been terrible. I hate the way the game modes are set up. I think it's actually a really big detriment to growing this game and having enjoyment in it. And a new game mode helps a lot with that to me. Next up is the FUT competitive camera, which I don't even know what that means. It looks kind of dog shit to me, but we'll have to wait and see. Co-op probably will continue to be most people's camera angles. Co-op until I broadcast, if I had to guess, just seeing off of this one screenshot here. This screenshot's literally 1 frame long. This is all you get to see of the FUT competitive camera. And next up here is the more player roles. So we got more roles, guys. Aren't you happy about this one? Next up here, you have the enforcer playstyle, which is kind of like an off-the-ball shielding one. I think is kind of the goal for this. You can't really see it because it's 1 frame or 2 frames long again, but this red player kind of leans into the blue player a bit while they're waiting for the ball and kind of holds them off, right? So it kind of seems like an off-ball shielding, off-ball strength kind of play style there. You've got aerial fortress play style, which is that like take the place of Aerial, because like how would that be much different than the other Aerial one that we've got here? And we actually skipped one, and it's one we talked about already. It's manager market, so managers can go from club to club in offline career mode. And then they say here that's just the start apparently, and they're showing gameplay of the actual game, right? So I mean, it's hard to take much from what we're seeing here, but they show you Zlatan scoring a penalty, right? And they say every innovation in every mode is designed by you, or sorry, inspired by you, they say. So, you know, they're really leading into this whole like, hey, we're listening to you. Please, I promise we are going to listen to you. And like I said yesterday, two things can be true at once, right? That's a good thing. They're listening to us. It's a good thing, right? I'm glad they're actually taking our feedback, understanding that like that's important. Kind of insane we got to this point and they're like, oh yeah, I promise we'll listen to you this time, because you know, our old games, it wasn't working. It's like, yeah, no shit, who the hell was your lead dev for the last like 5 years? Because they need to get canned immediately. So yes, number one, good thing. Number two, we have not seen the game yet, so how good is it going to be? We have no idea. Very, very important piece of this. We don't have the game yet, so we can't even really say if it's good or not. Not to put sour grapes in the whole thing, because I want it to be great. I want next year's game to be the best that we've ever seen, obviously. But okay, we'll kind of go through all like the new stuff here. We'll go one by one. The first thing here is we do have the skill move and weak foot kind of indicators here. So a 5-star weak foot, they have this green underneath their card, or sorry, underneath like their player bar here, and also their skill moves is right here. It's kind of a new little way to see what your opponents have. That was leaked, I think, from Detective Futt like a couple months ago. And then right here we get more confirmation of our other leaks that we saw earlier in this year. If you guys have been watching the videos, we get casual FUT Champs mode, second tier weekend league for lower division rivals players. EA did confirm this on their website today, but there was no other information about it. So this is just going to be a thing here. It's called Challengers, I think. So once again, Detective Futt has been right about pretty much everything here. It's been leaked recently, but there will be a casual sort of FUT Champs mode. I'm very curious to see how they end up sort of gatekeeping that second champs mode, not allowing people to smurf their way into the second champs. You know what I'm talking about? Like the lower champs. I'm assuming the rewards are going to have to be substantially worse if they want to prevent smurfing. I would guess they're going to have to be pretty bad, honestly, because otherwise, yeah, Challengers Weekend League is going to be basically a smurf fest if it ends up being close to the same rewards. I would doubt that, but that will be the case undoubtedly if that is the case. If right here Challengers ends up being a pretty close competitor to the actual Weekend League. And also right here, you know, tournaments and live events now is a thing apparently, as well as a refreshed rivals and champs experience. Tournaments will test your skills with up to 4 rounds of knockout football, while live events will add more variety with themed competitions and content all season long, which is what we need. New bounties will allow you to earn additional rewards or accelerate your weekly progress. I don't know what that means. So to me, I mean, just changing the modes up is so important. The modes are so bad. I promise, I swear to you guys, the modes do way more damage to this game than people realize. So really hoping this ends up actually being something. Also, FGZ News was just wrong about everything again. Third year in a row, third straight year, FGZ News has been wrong about at least 75% of the things he's leaked. This guy is an absolute fraud. I'm sorry, just complete and utter fraud. But anyway, that's beside the point. So let's go into the details now of the pre-order stuff. So we know all the details now. So the 1 of 15 icon, some thought might be a player pick. It's not going to be a player pick. It will be a pack. EA have now advertised that Zlatan and Ronaldo are both going to be in that 1 of 15 icon pack. So as you can see here, it's a different card to the actual icon card. Apparently it's like an upgradable icon. Sometime in November you can upgrade it, so you'll get it right away. It won't be probably as good as a base icon, but you'll be able to upgrade that later into the year. But Zlatan and R9 are the two ones we know for sure. We talked about these rewards yesterday. The Evo, here's a 99 shooting Evo. This has now been confirmed, by the way. These FC points are confirmed to be a month apart, so right away you get 2,000. A month later is another 2,000. A month later another 2,000. So it is exactly spread out in 3 different ways, like we talked about yesterday. That has now been confirmed. The additional player slot, don't know yet if that means 2 or 3. I'm guessing because they have 2 right here that we're going to start off next year with, once again, an ultimate team, only 1 evolution at a time, and then this pre-order bonus is a second one that you can use at a time. So that kind of seems to be the consensus right now. And also here, you know, we've had a lot of news about the Brazilian League and the Liga MX, and Liga MX has kind of been pretty much confirmed to be in the game next year. However, in the confirmed all all leagues in FC26, there is no Liga MX, and there also is no Brazilian League. Brazilian League, not surprising. The rumor now is like DLC later into the year. However, there were some sources saying that the Liga MX is not in here, just simply because they're finishing off like getting the rights right now, and it's not fully done yet. But people expect it to be in next year's game, because if you scroll down here, there is no Liga MX here. But it still sounds like people expect it to be in next year's game, at least for sure at some point. And the Brazilian League, the rumor is like Christmas time or later than that even, and it might come as a DLC or something like that. So that's kind of the rumor right now with the leagues that are confirmed next year. And one of the very little things here that most people probably don't care about at all, look at the kits that R9 and Ibra have. They have the Real Madrid badge on R9's card and also the PSG badge on Ibra's card. So that probably means then that you are able to make a card like an icon selects to a certain club, or at least EA can do that, right? So R9 might be able to have extra chem for Real Madrid cards, and maybe even would have a Real Madrid badge on their card, because usually they cannot show those sort of images on an icon design. So I wonder if maybe we're eventually at the point now where we might see badges on icon cards, and maybe they'll give more chemistry out for certain clubs, right? So R9 at Real Madrid and Zlatan at PSG, etc. So I just, quick little side note there. And career mode fans love seeing this. So you got long and short-term tasks that reward icons and vanity items. Interesting. I wonder what those even look like. Like we talked about earlier, manager live challenges, real world scenarios, win treble with PSG, stuff like that here. Clubs now evolve as managers change with shifting tactics and styles. So not only do you have like the manager carousel, you'll have the tactics changing depending on what manager is managing what club. So cool addition there. And then the very interesting part here is we got this from EA. So a couple of things here. So first of all is the FC feedback page. So we've got find out how your voice can help shape the future of FC. So now there's a designated place you can go to have your voice be heard. We have our own feedback deep dive. We'll get into more of this here in a sec, but our own feedback deep dive. We have a player feedback portal, a player feedback portal summary. These are ways to directly send your feedback to our dev teams, says EA. And here we got how the portal works for you, how we use your portal responses. So reading through some of this stuff here if you guys want to. You can read them talking about this more, but basically they want to hear your feedback more often. What does that mean? I'm not sure, but I do have to give them credit where it's due. I have asked them myself to launch something like this because we don't know who to talk to. We don't know where to go, who to tell what. Now we at least have some sort of portal to be like, hey, send your complaints to the portal and hopefully they hear us. So at least there's something. We don't know if they'll actually hear us or not, but now at least there's something you can send something to. That was not the case for the last 4 years since Zaro left, right? It was like Corey and Zaro. Once they left, there was nowhere to go and you just had to hope they made changes and listen to us. Like who would you tell about stuff? There was a singular gameplay dev on Twitter for 3 weeks and then he deleted his account, which I never advocate bullying, but let's just say Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles both said, man, we saw that one coming. Oh, but yes, we have a gameplay responsiveness deep dive. Okay, interesting. We got understanding delay here. So in summary of what this whole article is, and not, bore you with reading all of it, what they basically say here is they're trying to differentiate between like the obvious stuff that there will be delay for, like for example, a monitor or the internet connection. There's always going to be a slight delay in there, but they're trying to fix the animation. They're trying to fix that part of this so that all of the delay, if you feel it, has to be on your end, right? They're trying to eliminate the delay from their end. So say here, heading into next year's game, we are focusing directly with the design council members, pro players, members of our community, and members of our internal teams, trying to have them play the game and say like, hey, is this delayed or not, right? So here's Stokes, who's a pro player and a content creator. They're trying to ask him about responsiveness, right? So yes, we all now know who to blame. We now know who to blame if it's unresponsive next year. I'm just kidding, but they say here like what we learned. So like FC players are really good at detecting even the smallest delay issues. Delays of even 1 frame can result in a noticeably unresponsive experience. So first of all, I'd like to say here, by the way, remember there were comments earlier, I want to say maybe it was even a couple weeks ago, people saying like, hey, delay is just the way the game works. For one, it's an excuse for you to say when you lose, you can blame it on something easy. So like the 2 out of 20,000 people who said like, hey, delay is actually just in your head, dumbass. Yeah, you can go suck my right nut, all right? We've noticed players experience delay in significantly different ways. What you refer to as delay can be experienced in both offline and online play. Yeah, okay, thank you. Right here, when you're playing with good connection quality or an offline play, the main reasons you can sense some unresponsive responsiveness is animation selection, variability to create authenticity, context with limited coverage, or animation system bugs. That's the biggest one there. So not only is it animations, also bugs within animations. How many of them were there? Could have been a ton of them. Time between button press and when simulation processes the input. Yeah, that's input delay. Yeah, that's exactly what input delay is. And adding in like, yeah, poor connection quality conditions. That's just not even including the online stuff. So obviously Ethernet versus Wi-Fi, high ping, right? This is obvious to everybody who plays FIFA that this stuff can add delay, but if you're a casual player, maybe you wouldn't know this, right? Internet bandwidth, TV or monitor settings, recommend using game mode in your TV or monitor, right? This is all stuff you probably know about by now. But down here as well, they're talking about how like different players want different things. Some want more realistic gameplay, some want more competitive gameplay where it's more responsive, maybe more arcadey. That's why they've now added the two separate gameplay modes, right? Competitive and authentic there. Competitive gameplay is tuned for consistent responsiveness. That's the goal of the competitive gameplay side there. What's new for responsiveness? You got animation variability meant to create authenticity. And you can see down here, they got more stuff coming in the gameplay pitch notes. But for example, animation transitions and branching have been reevaluated and retuned across most areas of gameplay to improve consistency and responsiveness and increase animation coverage down here to where, you know, animations can do more things. And also they've addressed animation system bugs as well in case those were happening, which I would guess they probably happened quite a bit, right? But if you want to read through here, obviously you all can, but I'm scrolling through kind of quickly to try and summarize it all for you. You got here time between button press and when our simulation processes the input, they're trying to improve those systems as well, which is probably the biggest part of the delay, right? And then what's next? They're meeting up with more of their members of our design council apparently to address the responsiveness. And last thing here is a Stokes tweet, and Stokes is a little bit more of a person who is a pro player but also is not a kiss-asser, so he's not as much of an absolute meat rider as some of the pros are because they need to make their job, you know, the game, right? But Stokes does say here, can officially confirm FC 26 is going to be unlike any FC we've ever had before. I'm talking the greatest FC we have ever seen by far. So listen, okay, we have no idea if these changes will come to fruition in next year's game until we get our hands on it, okay? Very important distinction here, but the best thing that ever happened to us was the numbers going up when the gameplay got better because EA realized, hey, wait, if we actually make the gameplay fun, they might spend more money. Yeah, no fucking shit. I'm surprised it took 7 years to notice this shit, but I guess they finally did, and it's probably a good thing for us, and that's kind of all the news right now. And like I said, I'm happy to see all this stuff. It all sounds very positive. I'm happy to hear about this, but we don't know for sure until we have our hands on the game in the middle of September, right? That's when we'll know for sure. So keep that all in mind here, but I do want to give EA their credit that so far it sounds like good stuff. It does sound good. And I want to acknowledge that, even though obviously we have to wait and see what the hell the game looks like. But okay, we got some FC25 stuff here. We got some SBCs, some regular cards coming in Futties team too. Declan Rice, SBC as well here with some nice stats. He's got long ball, incisive, anticipate, impress, proven with all above 91. It's not maybe the most like insane card ever, but it's a nice SBC. Arsenal fans are going to obviously love this card here. And then the other SBC we have leaked right now are just the official stats on the two SBCs we saw yesterday, Pedro Neto and Yap Stam. Pedro Neto has finesse shot, rapid, incisive, and Trivella. Stats look great. Kinda, maybe, sort of 3 playstyle pluses on this card, depending on how much you actually like Trivella, but he has 97, which means I think one of the playstyle plus evos from the season pass can fit on this card, if that's worth anything. But yeah, there's the Neto card, and here is the Yap Stam card right here, and this one, meh. Anticipate, bruiser, jockey's fantastic, but also slide tackle plus, okay. The thing is, he's one of these cards that the body type like is so good. It's like Mendy or Teo, where sure you might have wanted this to be, I don't know, block or something like that, or some other defending play style there, but he's gonna be so good in game just because of like his stats are insane, his body type's crazy. I'm sure he's still gonna be great. SBC obviously on the way here for Yap Stam. And besides that, we got a bunch more cards for the team here. Let's go look at these guys. So let's zoom in right here. We've got R9 we saw yesterday. Apparently the official stats on R9 were actually wrong yesterday. He has 98 dribbling, not 99. I think the playstyle is the only difference is that press proven is here instead of like, I think something else, Tiki Taka maybe. So it's press proven plus and 98 dribbling. So unusable card, unfortunately, for R9 there. Kind of sucks to see. Nuno Menj looks crazy. 5 playstyle plus on Nuno Menj. Just 1 slide tackle, but don't care. He's got bruiser, anticipate, ping, quick step, goddamn. Graham Hansen next, 5 playstyle playstyle pluses, insane cards. Saw Messi's yesterday, also insane card. We got Eto, 5 playstyle pluses, absolutely ridiculous card again. Vinny, 4 playstyle pluses, crazy. Same with Taram, same with Chouameni. We're at that stage of the game now where every card you see is going to be borderline crazy. So yeah, a lot of great cards coming in Futties team too here. But that's all the cards I think we have leaked for like this, the regular team itself. And we do have one more SBC here, and that's Alphonso Davies. So Davies is technical, rapid, long ball, and jockey, but 99 pace there on this Davies card. So this left back is more of an attacking left back. So some of these play styles maybe wouldn't be amazing on a left back, but still interesting nonetheless here on Alphonso Davies. So that I think is the last one of the Futties cards. And I actually missed one. It's Buffon. So Buffon is the last of the Futties cards here. He's got far reach, deflector, pinged, and long throw. So Buffon's the last card here actually. Might be the best keeper in the game, low-key. I'm not really sure there. And okay, I'll be honest with you, I have nothing to say about the market. I have nothing to say. There's Rivals rewards tonight. I wouldn't buy shit still. This team 2 looks crazy. I would just wait it out, honestly. So let's read some of your comments here. And first of all, I was seeing comments a bunch yesterday where it's like Didoza was like, yeah, you know, start clickbaiting, down with the clickbait. And it's like, yeah, you know, it would probably help the channel. It genuinely would probably help the channel if I clickbaited more. I can't do it. I don't know. It just feels wrong to kind of, you know, make it more clickbaity. Sometimes I do that, but every day it just feels a little like, I don't know. It feels wrong to do that. Maybe I gotta suck it up. Maybe I gotta suck it up and just do it. But I love what we created here. I don't want to, like, you know, start doing some bullshit, right? I don't want to start doing that. But Acedius is EA when they realize they have to make games fun. Yeah, shocker, right? This is kind of the crazy thing to me is like, you know, in one hand, you got to appreciate EA looking at this as a, hey, we're listening to you more than ever this year. What the hell were you guys doing the last 5 years? You were sniffing your own farts, thinking you knew all the answers, and then it was just getting worse year after year. Like, suck it up. You don't know what's best for the game. The players who play hours and hours and hours and hours and hours actually know what's best for the game, which usually, oftentimes, are not the devs. The devs actually don't really usually know what's best for the game. I know it sounds crazy, but we play the game more than the devs do. Like, it's a job for them. It's a passion for us. We play the game more than the devs do. So hey, we don't know how to make the games. They know how to make the games. They have like a big job, a hard job, but hey, take our feedback some. You know, just listen to us maybe. We can help you. Like, most of us just want to help. We don't want to fucking trash you. We want to help you. And some of your comments here, like, you know, for example, I don't believe anything EA says. I'll wait for the review from Inception and then I'll decide. Like, you are totally right to be doing that, okay? Like, you're totally right. I'm gonna stream once again for release night, okay? Come join for release night. I'll be there. I'll tell you if the game feels better or different or not, okay? Like, you know, we'll go through all this stuff. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. If I think the game's the exact same, I'll tell you it's the exact same. And it's important that EA does prove to us that the game actually is different, because then we at least know they're trying something else. But words right now are cool and they're good. I gotta acknowledge that it's good what they're saying so far, but actions obviously do speak louder than words, and that will be the real key and real indicator as to what next year's game looks like, right? Okay, so hold on. Batch 2 apparently is confirmed to be this next Friday, so I'm smoking the good shit. Okay, I apologize. I was wrong about that. Confirmed in-game by the store banner and also by FUT Scoreboard on Twitter, so I was wrong. Batch 2 is coming this Friday. And an important piece of this is, yes, the biggest game of a generation comes out next year, aka GTA 6. These clowns will say anything to get you to pay and play this ass game next year. That's the thing as well, is that, you know, we just have to wait and see, right? I'm the one to be like the more pessimistic. I'm trying to be in my head like more optimistic than even like my initial gut instinct wants me to be, right? Like, I want to be optimistic about next year's game, and I might even make a review of next year's game like a couple days in. I might even make a review of it, honestly. That might be what I do. I might take some inspiration from Angry Joe. I love Angry Joe, and I want to kind of make my own FC review of next year's game. If say it's like the exact same, I might just, you know, I might just rage my ass off. That's probably what I'm going to do next year. But okay, I've been talking for way too long now. Thank you guys all for being here. Appreciate you all so much. I love you all. Serve your own, please.